Welcome to the Encouragement Engineering Podcast, where we help people to combat the negativity that inundates our daily lives with a positive perspective and positive action. Today's guest is Bill Heinrich. If you're looking to overcome frustration, confusion, stress, and overwhelm, we have the guest that can help. After living a life of dysfunction and misery, our guest made his spiritual transformation for the better. He's gained new perspectives and created more opportunities for growth and realizations, which have allowed him to see and understand the world with more insight and wisdom. For over 12 years, Bill has been working with high-level business executives, teaching them how to live life with passion, purpose, and prosperity. The results have been amazing. Everyone he has worked with that has followed the blueprint and guideposts that he's developed, they started living the life of their dreams. Bill is also the author of Clarity Has No Story, which explains how to use your language to create more power, potential, and abundance in your life. So please welcome to the show, Bill Heinrich. Bill, thanks so much for taking the time today. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, not a problem. Well, if we can, let's tell the people about you so they get to know you and how you got to where you are. Because, based on the intro, it's like, wait a second, live a life of dysfunction. How, what happened here?
Well, I mean, I'll make it quick because I was so miserable that almost just about 30 years ago, I walked away from my life.
Okay.
Literally walked away and changed everything but my name, looking for looking for the source of what was causing my misery, and has led me here today to talk to you, Bob. This is part of that journey. Uh, and I've discovered so many amazing things, and I live a life beyond my ability to explain it to anyone. You have to experience it, and there's only one way you can experience it.
Okay. Wow. And that's a big sum, if you will, that to say that. I mean, to experience, I guess, the greatness in your life. And that's what I want to try to get into and help people to understand that. One, it is possible. But two, how do you help people find their purpose? I think that's the biggest question is, what is my purpose?
Well,
People always ask that.
okay. First of all, people just don't understand what their purpose is.
Right.
Okay. In order to understand your purpose, the first thing that you must do is you have to acknowledge, identify, and understand the fact that we live in two different dimensions.
Okay.
We live in a physical world and we have a non physical world.
Right.
The non physical world is known as the universe. The physical world is our experience in front of us, which isn't real. It's not even true. It's a figment of our past experiences. So it's our own individual perception, whatever we see.
Right.
No two people see the same thing. They don't see the same thing. So you have to understand that, because ultimately, Bob, it's an energetic equation. Your purpose isn't what you do, it's the energy behind every word, thought, and action.
Okay.
And this, I'm not talking about getting into encouragement and motivation, because uh, that's a false positive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It has no substance to it. It can't last. Okay. It's really learning how to connect with the core of life and understand it, because everybody has to understand it from their perception. I have guideposts, but everybody uses the guideposts as they see fit,
Right.
because
Right.
we're all different,
Right.
right? So, um, but your purpose is the energy behind everything, every thought, word, and action. It's all about an energetic value. I could get into that much deeper, but I don't know if we have much time. How much time?
Well,
I can go on for hours. So
yeah, it's interesting you say that, because I think I've been listening to the Napoleon Hill Think and Grow Rich again, and he
uh-huh.
talks about that definiteness of purpose, and that's
Mm-hmm.
part of that scenario, is that desire, that drive, that feeling of going after what you want. And even though there's going to be obstacles, we can guarantee that we've got to be able to shift around and still continue towards that goal. It might be in a different way than we initially thought, but you continue on
Well,
with that belief.
you're 100% correct. And again, let me go back to what I said to begin with to explain what you just said.
Okay.
Okay. We live in two dimensions. There's a physical and a non-physical. The physical is only about limitations, disruptions, pain, and lack of clarity. That's the best you'll ever get out of the physical. The non-physical
Right.
is infinite
Yeah.
and it's energetic.
Yeah.
And the universe is in a constant state of organic expansion. Now we don't know where we came from, we don't know where we're going, we don't even know where we are. The universe is so huge, they nobody knows.
Right.
Yet we think this is like the center of the universe. There's an energy out there moving, and if you're not in with the flow of it, then you're going to be stuck and fixed in limitation and suffering.
It's a good point right there. Who wants to be stuck in that? So,
What did they say? Is it like scientifically? I don't know this to be certain, but I believe it's true. Every cell in our body changes. Like all of the cells in our body change once every 7 years.
yeah. Yeah. I think something like that. It might even be,
Yeah,
yeah, less than
everything's
that.
in a constant state of change.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And, they say that, your taste buds change every 7 years. That says something's changing about you. Your hair gets different, everything. So definitely,
Mm-hmm.
which is a good point, because if we're always changing, technically we're always moving, if you will, and we should continue to, you know, grow our minds too. I think that's a big piece of these scenarios of growing your mind and
Let
being
me let
open to
me
these.
well, let me reword that.
Hmm.
Okay, grow your awareness, not your mind.
Okay.
And now the reason I use the word awareness is because awareness comes not only in words, but awareness also comes in feelings and energy.
Right.
And that feeling and energy is what connects you to the non physical dimension. The more that you understand the feeling, energy, and the non physical dimension, the better your life will be because you'll leave the physical. Like, I
Mhm.
don't live in the physical, I live in the non physical. I don't care what shows up in front of me, it
Mm.
doesn't matter. I'm here from a place of love to serve for the benefit of all involved. That's it.
Hmm.
You come from that place, good things happen.
Right.
Good things happen.
Well, let me ask this, because people are going to say, well, how do I do that, or how do I make that happen? What are some keys to living your purpose of your life?
Well, ultimately, there's really only one truth in our physical life,
Mhm.
and that truth is how you feel. Now, the story that created the feeling isn't true because at this point it's embellished and it's 30 years old, it's 40 years old. There's so many things piled on it, but how you feel is true.
Okay.
And so what you want to do on the non-physical side based on feelings and the story beneath them, like for myself, I had severe lack of self-worth. From that severe lack of self-worth, I had fear of loss. I was always seeking love. I mean, I can go on all the behaviors that controlled me because of my inadequacies and my lack of awareness. So, what you want to be aware of are the stories, because you can't have an emotion without a story.
Okay.
You can't have an emotion without a story. What's the story behind it? And does it serve you anymore? If it doesn't feel good, it doesn't serve you. So if it doesn't feel good, then here's what that means. That means that there's something in the physical world that you're protecting.
Okay.
you're protecting something, because the physical world is only about fear and protection.
Okay.
That's it. The non-physical world is only about love
Okay.
and vibration, and that's your heart.
Right.
But in the physical world, you've got your head, your mind, your ego, and it's all about manipulation and control. Right.
Right. Interesting.
So the way to quiet it is to come from a non-physical perspective and based on how you feel. If you look at it and it's like, well, this doesn't really feel good, and let me just like, it's like, yeah, I still have this trauma from when I was sexually abused as a child, for instance. Okay.
Mhm.
Got it. You do. But you don't need to react that way to it.
Okay.
What Get to know it better, love it, and heal it. It'll wither up. Okay. You can free yourself by loving it, not by being in conflict with it.
Gotcha.
But first, you have to know what it is. Because the fact of the matter is, somebody else says something and then you go into reaction based on your subconscious and your past experience. This is the way it
Right.
works. So the truth of the matter, and this is, I say this 100% seriously, is everyone is running through life with a blindfold on, making decisions based on who they aren't.
Okay.
100% guaranteed. Because I've worked with hundreds of people. And when I show them and we look at it energetically, they're just like, oh my God. Now they get connected with who they are.
Okay.
Now your energy, who you are. You are not the physical being.
Okay. Huh. And do you think that insight to them realizing, who they are and that weight they were carrying, that they've let that go now, that gives them the hope and the opportunity to be who they really want to be, so that helps guide
It's
them to their purpose?
it 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 gives them the opportunity to be fully responsible. Because of what I teach people, you have total and complete clarity about your life. We all have life lessons. There's 38 different life lessons paths. There's a specific life lesson. It's all based on your birth date. If you have life lessons, then that means you're here to learn something. And if you're here to learn something, then that means you don't know something. And if you don't know something, that's called a blind spot.
Okay.
And our blind spots are massive. We live in such narrow boundaries of ignorance, protecting our little world.
Right.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So you have to uh, get out of that defensiveness.
Right. And I guess with that defensiveness, that's because of the physical realm then, right?
Yes, so
Yeah.
you can
It's
only defend in the physical.
okay. All right.
There's nothing to defend in the non-physical.
Right. Because it's just love.
It's
And
it's it the not the universe, you know, I don't know how it all works, but I know one thing for certain. Everything's a vibration in the universe. And that means if you improve your energy, your vibration, you connect with the universe at a higher level. You have
right.
access to more wisdom. You have access to more potential. You have access to more power because it's all non physical. I know that for a fact. I've seen many miracles since I've been in this work. And it's wild what can happen.
That's something. Wow. That's encouraging too, because it helps you to
Universe.
it helps you to get rid of the baggage we continue to carry in our life.
Oh yeah, we were taught all wrong, you know, and what we were taught was for the purposes of control and manipulation for survival for everyone.
Hmm.
That's what we were taught. There's not
Wow.
enough of this. There's got to work hard. Just it's
Right.
all survival. When that's not true.
Right.
When you look at the non-physical side, right now, I'm attracting to me everything that's within my vibration. Now, I don't know what that is, and I don't care, but I know if it's coming in at this vibration or higher, I'm going to want to play with it, whatever it is, right?
Okay.
Because it isn't showing up confused. It isn't showing up defending. It isn't showing up trying to sell something. It's showing up to connect intimately, to share, and to have just have the interaction be meaningful in the present moment.
Wow. Okay. Wow. And that's, to me, that's, it offers hope. It still offers hope that, you, that freedom, that opportunity. Those are great things that can, really enlighten people, that taking this path will make them more aware. And, that's encouraging.
Well, well, here's I mean, it's so simple and people just ignore it and it's so obvious.
Yeah, we complicate things.
But listen, have you ever heard this? Okay. People will never remember what you said, but they'll always remember how you
Made them feel. Yep.
hello. They'll never remember what you said
Yeah.
because it's all thin air. But when you make them feel a certain way, they'll never forget it. If you go right now and I have you reflect on a special moment of your life,
Mhm.
okay, you're going to a feeling which takes
Right.
you to an event.
Okay. Wow.
Like
Interesting.
that,
Yeah.
that's the other side of life. Now, and I listen, I've been researching and studying this 30 years. Everything I say is 100% true because it's all based on vibration. So you can't, I'm not making anything up. A vibration's a vibration, right?
Right. Wow.
So it's really that simple. I'm not interested in all the other dimensions around us. What I'm interested in is showing people how to live a more powerful life and to
Right.
give them a greater sense of awareness. Okay. Now, there's two dimensions: non physical, physical. Non physical run by the heart, physical, the head and ego,
Right.
protection, right? Logic, protection, but
Yeah.
in the non-physical, it's love. The more you give, the more you get. It's expansion, it's open-mindedness, it's meeting new people, it's understanding that guess what, Bob, you get to be Bob and I get to be Bill.
Right.
I'm not here to debate anything. I'm just here to connect more with you and share more of me. It's that simple.
Wow.
And it feels pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say that's a lot less baggage to carry through life. That's for sure.
That baggage is a story,
Yeah.
and don't erase the story, but notice how it makes you feel and
Right.
rewrite a story. Say, okay, yes, that happened to me, but damn, I've suffered long enough.
Right.
It's been 30 years. This is crazy. I'm letting that go and I'm going to love it, thank it, because I
Right.
know my happiness is over here.
Cool.
So in those, the head, the heart, there's only two emotions, right?
Right.
Love and fear.
Yep.
That's it. Everything stems from those, right? But get this, they can't coexist.
Right.
Fear knocked on the door, love answered, but no one was there. They can't coexist. And fear has a very unique quality. I call it a quality. It's probably not a quality, but it's this: fear cannot come to the present moment.
Wow. Wow. Just saying that, you realize that is so true. Never thought about that.
You have
Fear,
to
yeah, have to go back.
you have or to the future.
Yeah. of
which
what's
is nothing
not.
but your
Yeah,
past projected out in front of you. But
right.
anyways,
Yep. Yeah, because you play the movie over and over again of something you previously did, and oh, that's going to happen again. But it's
you
not
can
now. You're
you
right.
cannot experience fear in the present moment.
Wow.
Okay. So the question that I pose to you and your audience, you have a choice of having one of these two, accountability or responsibility. Which one do you want?
Hmm. Accountability or responsibility? To me, they're kind of the same because you have to be accountable.
You, just pick one.
Okay, accountability.
Okay, great. They are they are the antithesis of each other. They are total opposites, accountability and responsibility. Because when you look at how accountability and responsibility appears in the physical, with accountability, you can only show up as a victim
Huh.
because you're seeking someone else's approval.
Okay. All right. I see where you're going.
And depending upon how much accountability, how much you've abandoned yourself in accountability to keep them happy,
Wow.
they could move the target on you.
Right.
So energetically, with accountability, you can only be a victim.
Hmm.
Responsibility is demonstrated by your vibration.
Okay.
Responsibility, with accountability, there's no equality. There's somebody's answering to somebody else, and the other
Right.
person has a moving target. They're giving them what they tell them what they want, but then when they get it, it ain't going to be the right thing. And somebody's over there and say, "Yeah, but I've got to do this to keep feeding my family," and they're upset. And welcome to corporate. On the other side, you have responsibility, energetic responsibility. Everything in my life is I'm responsible for.
Okay.
I got rear-ended 10 years ago in San Diego by a drunk. My first question was, how did I call that into my life? Why has that come into my life? What lesson is this? What am I supposed to learn from this? I own this. When you do that, you have power.
Gotcha.
When you're responsible. No, I'm responsible. Free will and choice is our greatest asset. Plain and simple. It's our greatest asset.
Right.
Make a choice. Say, no, I've made the choice to do this. I'm going to be responsible to the choice I've made.
Right. But even with,
Energetic responsibility. So
yeah,
it means you're now equal with the people. So that responsibility shows up different when somebody comes and wants you to be accountable, because
right.
you're not going to get trapped in their accountability game because you're going to be responsible.
Right. Very good. Yeah, it gives you more
Big.
power. Interesting.
Do you see the
Yeah.
difference?
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I appreciate that explanation. So that's something to definitely, you know, be aware of in all our lives. Thank you for
All
sharing.
all of our power and all of our potential is in the non-physical.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't care where it is, but it's not in the physical. What's in the physical is a manifestation of our power and potential in the present moment. That's what's in the physical,
All right.
because all we can see is what's happening. There's so much chaos otherwise, because there's so much changing and going on with the universe.
Hmm. Wow. Yeah, very interesting.
So, by the way, I have a book
Yeah.
on Amazon, The 7 Levels of Truth, A Direct Path to Your Life Purpose. This goes through everything I'm talking about here. There's another book I wrote called Clarity Has No Story, and
Yep.
it's about using language to support your life and live at a higher vibration. You can get a copy of that free by going to myfreebook.me, M-E, myfreebook.me. And if anybody really has an interest in having clarity and really having it all in their life and wanted to speak to me, you can go to speaktobill.com and get a 20-minute clarity session.
Cool.
You know, that there isn't anyone, there's no one I can speak to, no one. It's impossible for somebody to show up in front of me that I can't show them things that will increase their vibration. Because, see, my expertise isn't vibration. My expertise are the things that block it.
That's critical, because that's what we got to be able to have somebody help us see, so they can get out of the way, so we can have that experience.
You know, you're going through life with a blindfold on, making decisions based on who you are. And believe me, it is so true. So true. And when my clients, it's kind of funny. My clients stay with me a long time. Like right now, I just had one client leave. He was with me 8 years. One coaching client.
Wow.
This is unheard of in the business coaching. I've got 3 right now that have been with me for more than 5.
Okay. Wow.
Good.
The longevity is there.
Something good must be happening. Well, the universe is about expansion. It's just this constant expansion, getting clarity, because you can see, you don't have to push the boundaries when you energy, because there's no boundary.
Right.
You just have to clean the energy.
Great. Wow. Well, Bill, does your faith help with this?
What is faith?
I would think faith is love.
No, that's not faith.
No.
I'm. You know what? I'm going to tell you right now. This is when I go to the dictionary. It's complete trust or confidence in someone or something. Okay, is what faith is.
Yeah.
Or a strong belief in God, right? Faith is a confusing term the way it's used in the physical.
Okay.
And it's a word that I recommend people don't use.
Hmm.
I suggest that they replace trust with it. Trust has a much higher vibrational value because it means total clarity. I trust. Oh.
Okay. Interesting.
Look at the energy of the words. You know, you like accountability and responsibility.
Yeah.
You will never forget that, will you?
No. I'm definitely going to be more
and you want to know,
responsible.
right.
Yeah.
But you know what else is going to happen? This is funny. Okay. As time goes on, my spirit's going to visit you someplace, because as you hear other people use the word accountability, you'll start cringing and you'll go, oh, damn, Bill.
That's all
You'll
right.
cringe.
Well,
because you'll see the difference in the vibration.
Yeah. And the awareness. Again, wow, that's great. It's really something. And I appreciate that, the trust over the faith. That's interesting. So that's, like you said, it's understanding the meaning of that word.
You want another one? I'll give you one more.
Okay.
Because I always, make a promise that the audience is going to leave with at least 3 things, although I think there's been more than 3 things so far.
I think so too.
The other one, what one was I going to say? Gosh, I've got to come back to it now. Something else came into my mind. Accountability, responsibility. I don't know. Let's keep going.
Okay.
It just kind of dropped away. That's really weird.
No. Well, what we can do is, Bill, if you can tell us where people can get a hold of you again, we'll make sure we have this in the show notes. So, but if you can tell us more, so they can make sure they get a hold of you. This is interesting stuff. I mean, go check out his book on his website, but tell us about that if you would too.
Yeah, but my third one was stop being defensive.
There you go.
Never be. There was another one too. Never be defensive again. Okay. Because if you're defending something in the physical. You're afraid you're going to lose something.
Right. Okay.
There's nothing. with love, no defense is needed. The more you give, the more you get. That's the way love works.
Yeah.
Right. The other one is never make another decision. Never make another decision.
Okay.
Decisions bring on stress, overwhelm. It comes from the root Latin word that means final. It's like poof, decision. Yeah. Use the word choice, much more powerful.
All right.
I need to make a choice. Oh, I'm going to make a choice. If the choice isn't right, I can change it tomorrow. I make a decision today, I can't change it tomorrow.
Okay. Again, yeah, the words and what your brain takes to them.
Isn't that incredible?
That is. That is. Well, that's
so
great.
Yeah, my website is truelifepurposenow.com. Truelifepurposenow.com. You can get on my book page, order a book. I'd send you an autographed copy. I have coaching programs where people just come and they fly. They just start flying in life. They're amazing programs and people. Amazing stuff. It's so much fun. I have 3 different programs, and then you can get the free book Clarity Has No Story at myfreebook.me.
Great. Well, we'll make sure we have that in the show notes as we summarize this. But Bill, I want to thank you for being a guest on the Encouragement Engineering podcast today. I really appreciate your help. The choice of words, definitely, I'm definitely going to be focused on my responsibility. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'll be making more, better choices.
Yeah. Well, listen. How does that feel to you?
Yeah, it feels invigorating. It feels
isn't
there's
it? And you take
opportunities.
ownership. Yeah, I mean that's what it's about.
Right.
Is do everything that helps your energy. But I'll make a note and check back with you in like 90 days or so. I should come back and we should do a check-in, and then we can talk about some other things. It would be fun.
That would be great.
It would be fun to see some of the things you've noticed. Things change very fast when you start playing with energy. I'm going to warn you.
Okay.
There's no limit. There's no limitation on that side. It's all in the physical. But thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Bill. I appreciate it. You make sure you have a great day.
You too.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.